as a normal person, I was expecting a princess kind of treatment, like food is already, at the dining, and then probably a massage, or probably take you to a spa just to relax your muscles. I mean, you've come a long way, right? Hi guys, it's so good to see you again. It's your girl Udoka Agbekoro, aka Udella Talks. And today we'll be discussing something very interesting. I think you'd like to know what that is. And I came across a post on Facebook, and it was like a question, and people were expected to answer it. It was like, what's the weirdest reason you've ever broken up with someone? What's the weirdest reason you've ended a relationship? And I saw a lot of people making a lot of really funny comments. Some talk too much, and all of that. And then one guy he said he broke up with this girl because she had visited him in his house, and after he had served her food, she ate, and then she went straight to the kitchen and dumped the plate right there. She didn't do the dishes, or rather, she didn't wash her plate. And so the guy was like, "Okay, that's why I broke up with him." And I'm like, "Okay, I mean, as a guest, you should behave yourself, right? When you visit a person or you visit people and they serve you food and all of that, the least you can do is wash your plate." And personally, I feel like if you are a guest, if you're visiting me for the first time and I serve you food, I don't expect you to do anything. You are my guest and I take responsibility for that. All right. I don't expect you to do anything. If it is the first time that you're visiting me, all right, I serve you food, I'm going to clear the table for you too. But as a person who has a background in home training, you should be able to at least make an effort. Let it be that it's the host that's like, okay, don't worry, I'll take care of it. You understand? Just make an effort. You don't just do that. You don't do that. Well, that's by the way. I want to share my own experience, how I broke up with this guy. And by the way, it has been a long time ago, all right? So we were really in this sweet relationship. It was new, and you know how new relationships are. You want to talk forever, you want to talk non-stop, just want to, talk to each other all the time, share about the events that are happening in your life with them, and all of that. So we were really cool. And then I remember sometime into the relationship, we were having just, a random conversation, and then he says, I don't send airtime to girls because sometimes they don't even call you back with the airtime. They use it to call some of their other guys and stuff like that. But I didn't really like paying serious attention to that because I was like, heck, I'm never ever gonna ask you for airtime. Hello, I've got pride. I'm never ever gonna ask you for your airtime or your money. Stuff like that. So it didn't really matter much to me. Like I didn't pay attention to that. It wasn't a red light for me. All right, so we had gone into the relationship and we were cool, really. We were really cool, getting along and all of that until subsequently, that's like years later, a few years into the relationship, and we were having some challenges. Yeah, so we were trying to see how we can salvage this relationship. So we made the plans to go see Mr. Boyfriend. All right, it was his idea, like I said, and he knew that I was coming. All right, so and it was a long journey. It wasn't like a 1 2 3 hours journey. I think I left very early in the morning, and then when I got to his place, it was already past 5 to 6 kind of thing. All right, 6 p.m. All right, and it wasn't really like a straight journey. All right, I had to make stops. You make a stop at this town, and then from this town you go to this town. From this town you enter, and then you get to wherever it is that you were going. So it wasn't really a straight journey, and it was very stressful. So I was already so exhausted by the time I got to his place. I was looking all dusty, and stressed and all of that. And as a normal person, I was expecting a princess kind of treatment, like food is already, at the dining, and then probably a massage, or probably take you to a spa just to relax your muscles. I mean, you've come a long way, right? Yeah, but I didn't see any of that. And that wasn't actually even a problem. I mean, if he wasn't if he wasn't able to do that, it wasn't supposed to be a problem. But what really threw me off balance was I had gotten to his place. Immediately I stepped into his place. He was like, "Hi, welcome, babe," the normal pleasantries and all of that. And then he gave me the shocker. And then he says, "Babe, please can you just go upstairs? I'll show you to your room, and then you freshen up, and then you can come downstairs and fix us dinner. What? Go upstairs, freshen up, and do what? Fix you dinner. What? Who does that? I was trying to be sure that I heard him correctly, that I wasn't imagining things and stuff. I'm like, what do you say? And then he says, maybe when you go upstairs and then you freshen up, you can just come and then fix my brother and I dinner. And I'm like, really? Look, guys, let's think about it. You asked me to come see you. You knew that I was coming to your place. And it was my first time of coming to see you. That's like the first time I was getting to see him, physically. I have never met him physically before. So because it was more of a distance, long distance kind of relationship, so we never really got to see ourselves often. I have never met him before. This was my first time of going to see my boyfriend after how many years of dating on phone. And I get to your place for the very first time. You welcome me into your house. You see that I'm very exhausted. I'm very stressed. I'm very tired because of the long journey. And what do? You send me right into the kitchen to make dinner for you and your brother. Excuse me. He was at home all day. He didn't go anywhere. He knew that I was coming. In fact, he was at home all day. He didn't go anywhere. It's not like he had work to attend to, or he had something that there was an emergency that he had to attend to, and therefore he couldn't, fix something for his guest. So he was at home all day waiting for my arrival because he was calling me, every now and then. Hey, babes, where are you guys now? Have you guys gotten to this place? Babes, where are you guys? Stuff like that. So he was at home all day. I could not understand it. Guys, I couldn't grasp. You were at home all day and you were expecting a guest. And then your guest arrives, your guest who happens to be your girlfriend and who happens to be seeing you for the very first time ever. And what do? You welcome her, ask her to freshen up, and then you send her right into the kitchen to make food. Guys, at that point, I just realized that, nah, this was not the kind of man that I wanted to be in my future, you know? I mean, if I married this man, he was gonna kill me. Well, I don't take that literally, But I was really surprised. I was shocked. I was trying to understand exactly what was going on, or why he would do that. I tried to make excuses for him, but there was no excuse, whatever. I just couldn't grasp. I couldn't get it. Like, who does that? Who does that? You expecting a guest for a very first time, your girlfriend, and then she arrives from a very long journey, and then you send her right into the kitchen to go make food for you and your brother who had been home all day. I didn't say anything. I said, okay, babe. I just went to the kitchen and I fixed dinner for them and for me. And but right in the middle of fixing that dinner, I just knew that no, this relationship, it can't work anymore. I woke up the following morning and I told him something came up and I need to be on my way. He said, what? But we planned you were going to stay for a few days, like a week or so. I said, yeah, I'm so sorry. I know, but something just came up and I have to be on my way. So like 2 days later, I just left, packed my bags, and I left back to where I came from. And when I go home, when I knew that I was safe, I just sent him a text and I'm like, hello, I'm sorry, but this relationship, I'm sorry, it can't work. This is where we call it a day. He was wondering, why, babe? I mean, we were okay. We talked fine today, yesterday, last month. We were really cool. What just happened? I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm done. I'm done. I really can't continue with this relationship. And that's it. A lot of times we do things that, there's something called courtesy, guys. There's something called courtesy. There's something called home training. You can't just walk past someone and you're like, you just shove the person by the side and then you move. No, excuse me, no, please, can I pass? Simple courtesy, simple acts of courtesy. Like you have a guest, you take care of your guest. Like you visit a person and they serve you food and then you're done and you just clear your dish. It's not a big deal. I feel like people really need to start paying attention to little things like courtesy. A lot of persons, they don't know how to say thank you. They don't know how to say I'm sorry. They don't know how to say please. They don't know when to use, any of those things. You give someone something or your girlfriend makes food for you because, yeah, she's your girlfriend and it's her place to make food for you. Supposed place to make food for you. and then you eat and then you move like it is your birthright. No, thank you. No, how I enjoyed this food. These are things that we really, really need to start paying attention to. They are the little, little things that we think don't matter, but they actually matter the most. You go to a person's house and they spend their time, they spend their efforts, to make meals for you, and then you eat, and then you just drop the plate. Haba. Fear God. Not even a simple, oh, thank you so much. I enjoyed this meal. I absolutely loved it. Someone gets you a gift and you're like, okay, no, thank you. No, nothing. It's one of the reasons some of you are still single today. No jokes. It's some of the reasons some of you have lost good relationship because you think you really don't pay attention. You don't pay attention. A lady visits you for the first time and you send her right in the kitchen to go make food for you. What do you think that tells the lady? And the kind of person that you are? What do you think that tells the lady? All right, so I think that we really should be careful. We should imbibe courtesy. It's very important. The way that you talk to people, the way that you act towards people, some of the time, it's you never know. You never know who is watching. You never know who is observing you. You never know what you're gaining or what you're losing by the singular acts of courtesy or the absence of it. Start paying attention. Start paying attention to little, little things. Be intentional in the way that you treat people, the way that you treat your neighbors. It doesn't even have to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend or stuff like that. Just people generally. Treat people the way people should be treated. Don't just go past someone and then you shove them aside. And that's it. Because you want to pass. No, excuse me, or please make way for me. Little things that we think don't matter. Most of the time, they are actually the things that matter the most. We really, really should be careful how we treat people. How we relate with people. It's very important. Some of those things they are really, they're. I mean, cautious at. A lot of you don't know how to say thank you when someone does something for you. Let's even say it's your girlfriend, yeah, and she makes food for you, and then you just eat and then you move. You don't know how to say thank you, darling. I enjoyed the food. You go to a person's house and then they serve you food. You go right to the kitchen and you dump the dirty plates there. Not a simple act of courtesy. Home training won't tell you that you need to wash that plate. At least, I know that if you're a guest for the first time in a person's house, the person should take responsibility. But what about you? What about you? You have a part to play. Some of you don't know how to say thank you. Some of you don't know how to say excuse me. You'd rather just bump into someone and shove them aside and then you move like it's nothing. Some of you do not know how to relate with people. You don't know how to talk to people. You talk to people anyhow and as you like. And people are watching you. Please, I beg you. Let's learn. Let's learn in your interaction. Be very, very intentional. In your relationship, be very, very intentional. How you treat people. It matters a lot. It says a lot about, who you are, your personality, and all of that. All right. Well, now that I've finished ranting, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope to see you again on my next video. All right. And if you haven't already subscribed, please, 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 please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, share, like, bring your people. Talk to your friends about it. And don't forget to turn on the notification button so you don't miss out on subsequent videos. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and please let me know your experiences, some of the weird reasons why you ever broke up with someone. What was it like? What did it do? What was their crime? Was it weird? I'd like to know. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, it's still your girl Udoka Biokoro, aka Udella Talks. Until next time, bye bye.